For the lakhs of you who've been waiting, well, the wait is over. The numbers that could literally define your career are finally here. After what felt like an eternity, the Uttar Pradesh Subordinate Services Selection Commission, the UPSSSC, has finally released the cutoff scores for the Lekhpal main exam. This one notice ended months and months of speculation. So let's dive in and see what it all means. But here's the thing. This announcement wasn't just some boring list of numbers. No, it had a major surprise baked right in that has got everyone talking.
All right, so what are the key figures you really need to know from this big announcement? Let's get right to it.
First up, the big prize. We're talking about a total of 7,994 coveted Lekhpal posts. This is the goal, right? This is what every single person in this process is aiming for. And who's competing for those posts? Get this. A staggering 366,712 candidates have been declared qualified to even take the main exam. That just gives you a sense of how incredibly intense this competition really is. Now, here is the part that really caught everyone off guard. This table shows the normalized score, which just means the scores are adjusted to be fair, across different exam sessions. But look closely. The cutoff for 4 major categories, General, OBC, EWS, and SC, are all exactly the same. 55.12. Only the Scheduled Tribe, or ST category, has a lower cutoff. That's pretty unusual.
So why is having an identical cutoff for so many different categories such a big deal? Well, to really get that, we need to take a quick step back and look at how this whole selection process is supposed to work.
Everything kicks off with the PET, the Preliminary Eligibility Test. You can think of it as the very first hurdle. It's a screening exam, and it's not just for the Lekhpal post. It qualifies you for a whole bunch of different government jobs in Uttar Pradesh. So as you can see from this journey, an aspirant's path has a lot of steps. Passing the PET doesn't automatically get you into the main exam. It's more like it gives you the key. You still have to wait for a specific job notification, like this one for Lekhpal, and then meet that specific cutoff to finally unlock the door to the main exam. And it's exactly this multi-step process, combined with that surprising cutoff announcement, that has just sparked a huge debate among aspirants. So let's unpack this whole controversy. This quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of the frustration, doesn't it? You've got students preparing for months, even years, with absolutely no clear idea of the score they're supposed to be aiming for. It creates a ton of stress and uncertainty. All this frustration has led to this growing demand for something they're calling a common cutoff. So what is that exactly? What would it actually mean? In simple terms, instead of this moving target for every single job, what aspirants want is a clear, fixed pass-fail score for the PET itself. For instance, a rule could say that anyone who scores above, say, 60% is automatically eligible to apply for all main exams for the whole next year. It would give people clarity right from day one. And these points here really sum up the core issues. What are people asking for? Less uncertainty, a more transparent system, a fair way to filter candidates, and, at the end of the day, a more level playing field for everybody. Okay, so the cutoffs are out, the debates are raging. What's the immediate next step in all of this? For the more than 366,000 candidates who actually made the cut, the debate kind of has to take a back seat for now. Their focus is going to shift entirely to preparing for the Lekhpal main exam, and the dates for that should be announced pretty soon.
But looking at the bigger picture, the larger question is still out there. Will this whole debate, this push for a common cutoff, will it permanently change how these massive recruitment exams are done? Now that is the real story to keep an eye on.